Brother, I got something for you.
Hit me.
You brought up, was it last episode when we talked about Bill Gates blocking the sun?
Yes.
I was blown away because I'm like, all right, so they're basically admitting that, chemtrails are real.
Because I remember when I said it, you were like, really? And I knew when you said that, you were going to look into it, bro.
Yeah,
you were
so,
like, huh?
Yeah, I was just like, so it turns out, he's financially backing the development of sun-dimming technology that will reflect sunlight out of the Earth's atmosphere to cool the planet.
And, bro, no lie, that's why I don't always give the information when I talk about stuff here. It's because it's better when you look it up yourself. Because when I say it, you may be like, whatever. But when you look it up yourself, it means so much more. Whenever you send me something, we may not always talk about it because me and you text each other so much, like different information. But I always look into it, bro, and I appreciate people bringing me dope information.
Yeah, so trip on this. What I found interesting, like I said, was... So basically, they're admitting, chemtrails are real. We're spraying this aerosol. It's called calcium carbonate. We're spraying that up in the atmosphere. We've been doing it, all right. And they're saying to cool the planet, all right. Okay, well, the planet cools naturally, and we'll get into that on the next podcast in detail. But the primary cause for global warming is the planet itself. It's just cooling. You understand? Like, and that causes, so the whole, it's a natural process. The
planet goes through cycles.
Yeah, it cools, it warms, it just, so it's gonna warm. It's just what it is.
Right. We had ice ages before humans.
Exactly. And we'll get into that, like I said, real deep on it. But I want to talk about this because we've mentioned it before. This is called, for you guys out here listening and watching, check it out. It's called the Environmental Modification Convention. And the Environmental Modification Convention, formerly the Convention on the Prohibition of Military or any other hostile use of environmental modification techniques, is an international treaty prohibiting the military or other hostile use of environmental modification techniques having widespread, long-lasting, or severe effects. It opened for signature on May 18th, 1977.
Holy shit.
In Geneva, and entered into force on October 5th, 1978. The convention bans weather warfare, which is the use of weather modification techniques for the purposes of inducing damage or destruction. The Convention on Biological Diversity of 2010 would also ban some forms of weather modification or geoengineering. Many states do not regard this as a complete ban on the use of herbicides in warfare, such as Agent Orange, but it does require case-by-case consideration.
And that's in the 70s, bro.
Right. So here's two things that jump out.
50 years later.
Exactly. Here's two things that jump out. That was signed in 77. So they're admitting.
So 40 years.
They're admitting in 77 that they can control the weather.
Right.
And that they promised not to use it for war.
Which we've brought up before.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As an instrument of war. Mm-hmm. Okay. The second thing that jumps out at me is the last sentence. Many states do not regard this as a complete ban on the use of herbicides in warfare, such as Agent Orange, but it does require case-by-case consideration. So are they saying states as in nations, or are they saying states as in the United States? Because if they are saying the latter of the two, how does Agent Orange and other herbicides in warfare apply to the states of the United States? Why would they ever use them on a case-by-case basis, as it states on this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
Are they using warfare against us?
That's what I've been contended. That's my contention. But it's why my sense of sensitivity to these issues is heightened, and it may come off as nonchalant to people, or as my mom said, naive, but it's not at all. I'm super in tune, and I do believe that we're at war, and we just don't know it as a people. Right. And that's what infuriates me sometimes, is because I'm the only one acting as no, I'm not because there's people that are more on it than me, like those people that are ready for the bunker and got all their shit. Right. They know how to get their own water. Mm-hmm. They're really, really ready.
Right.
But sometimes I be thinking like I should get on their level, because It's not like trying to be scared or trying to, it really, to me, is being more in tune and not being in a fear state because you're ready for whatever.
Exactly.
So it's the opposite of fear. It's the acknowledgement of there's a threat. Let me prepare.
Yeah.
Instead of just being in denial.
Yeah.
It's like some people stay in a denial.
I mean, you're not going to jump into a snake pit.
Nah, exactly. And I'm not over here trying to convince other people that they need to go in bunker mode. It's
Right.
just my realization that we're at war, bro. If they've acknowledged now, like you just said, the chemtrails can be used, or the weapon or the weather modification weapons can be used as a weapon, and I established already that the 5G can be used as a weapon, our military. So they just want us to believe that it's not. So they're like, yeah, these are weapons, but we're not going to turn it on weapon mode
so
for you
it's
guys.
based on faith.
We're going to turn it on to just safe enough.
Yeah.
And I watch these videos online that like to dispel people like me and you. They're so disgusting, bro, because they have no fucking integrity. They'll literally go at people like me and you. In that 5G video that we're going to post soon, I used one of their clips. And in there, they say, like, people that are scared of the technology are, making it up, or they're, going too far with it. They're hyping it up, hyperbolic, whatever. But I thought about what the example they said. They said a microwave has, let's say, I don't know if this is exact, but 500 kilowatts that it gives off.
Yeah.
And our phone only has 1 kilowatt. So they're like, well, why would you think that this can hurt you more than a microwave? And then I thought about that as I went on with my day and lived life, and I was like, that's a dumbass analogy though, because I don't walk around with my fucking microwave in my pocket though. I walk around with this all the time. Your microwave you use for a minute and then it's done. This is always fucking on. And then what if I get in a room full of people? We all got this motherfucker. What if I get in a room full of 1,000 people? We all got this motherfucker. So yeah, comparing it to a microwave is stupid. That's for basic minded thinking people. And they like to dismiss shit so much. They don't know everything.
Yeah.
But they try to convince you that, oh, it's safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, they acknowledge it and then dismiss it. And that's how you know you got them. I saw a Washington Post. Was it Washington Post? It was some newspaper where they were like, yeah, they think conspiracy theorists, and again, they affiliated it with QAnon. They
should
think,
know when they say conspiracy, too, that they're on some shit.
Right.
Using
And
CIA terminology.
Right. And that they said they brought up the Federal Reserve and just tons of things that, we discuss all the time. And I'm going, wow, those are actually factual things. If you look up and just research, it's not even you can find them on Wikipedia. That's what I'm saying. They're like factual things.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like we're making this up? No one's making it up.
Yeah.
And why do you keep bringing up QAnon? No one said QAnon. These things have been being discussed for years and years. All the 9/11 truthers, that's now linked to QAnon. How? When that shit's been out for 19, 20 years.
You showed me brilliantly how they do it, though, because now they're focusing on right-wing people when before they were focusing on liberals. Yeah. They were focusing on the Black Lives Matter was a terrorist group. Right. But now it's just the focus has switched to these QAnoners and stuff.
It's wild,
so
bro.
I could clearly see it now because I had spent most of my life being on that liberal democratic side. And then I woke up to where I'm not on any side. And it's funny because when you're on that side and you step back, now you're automatically accused of being on the other side. So it's like, whatever. But I don't affiliate with anything, so I can clearly see the spin on both sides, you know? So it's like, yo, it's a game.
Exactly.
Shout out to Baba Dick Gregory.
The name of this experiment, it's an experiment that Bill Gates is funding to dim the sun. It's called the Stratospheric Controlled Perturbation Experiment.
Experiment.
Yeah, right. And it's a spray that non-toxic, okay, calcium carbonate. They spray this dust into the atmosphere, and it's a sun-reflecting aerosol that may offset the effects of global warming. Okay, what if it doesn't? What else does it do? Right? And now you're admitting that you're actually up there spraying this shit. You're admitting it. We already knew it was possible. We knew you were doing it, and now you're admitting it.
The craziest part to me is we believe we live in a democracy, but the only things that they allow us to choose is the things they put in front of us, right?
Right.
Because they can do that without any of our consent. That blows my mind.
Right. I don't remember voting for that. I would have been like, nah, don't do that.
How can that be?
Don't block the sun.
So this isn't a democracy. That's why I laugh.
I would tell him not to block the sun.
Yeah, what's up with that? Or all the executive orders that were put in place.
I'd say stop playing God.
Who voted on those executive orders? I'm just saying though, like this shit, I don't know, man.
No, I feel you, bro. I get it. It's a trip. They just prove how limited everything is, and a lot of people don't seem to really care. But
right.
So calcium carbonate, just so we know what this non-toxic formula is, it's a chemical compound. It's a common substance found in rocks such as minerals, calcite, aragonite, whatever the fuck that is.
That's the one I got on right here.
Aragonite?
Uh-huh.
Really?
No, I'm just fucking with you.
Oh, I was like, damn.
But oregano is really good for you people. Look
Look
up some oregano and see how good it is for you.
This is not oregano. This is aragonite
I know,
or some shit.
but I wanted to tell the people about oregano. Because it's just a spice to most people.
Hey, Steve, edit that shit out.
It's really good for you, though.
Steve, don't ever put oregano on this show.
Please do. Oregano all the time.
It's a type of sedimentary rock.
Yep.
And the main component of eggshells, snail shells, seashells, and pearls. That's what they're spraying in the fucking sky, bro. Eggshells, snail shells, seashells, and pearls. I would have been like, nah, bro.
That sounds funny when you say it all together. Sounds like a witch's brew, bro.
Sounds like a Dr. Seuss song or something.
Eggshells, seashells, witch's brew, and pearls.
Yeah, it probably is a fucking spell. You're probably right. You're probably
bro.
Right. That's probably exactly
and
what it is.
And this is what they came up with to save us from global warming. Instead of fixing whatever is causing global warming, we're just going to block the fucking sun. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm going to tell you right now? Here's what a black person thinks. The sun gives us power. You want to block the sun.
Yeah.
The sun gives you skin cancer. You benefit from sun blockage.
Well, especially if you're buying a bunch of farmland and you can control where the sun's going to be at. Maybe the sun will only be where his hundreds of thousands of acres of farmland that Bill Gates just bought.
Who's your daddy?
Exactly. And listen to this. This is awesome. So this is people are concerned, and rightly so. Major disruption of the global climate could bring unintended consequences, negatively impacting high populated regions and engineering another refugee crisis. Okay? So in response to this, they've proposed the creation of a risk pool to compensate smaller nations for collateral damage caused by such tests. But such a payout might be little comfort to those displaced by unlivable conditions. So you're going to completely destroy the environment where I live. You're going to turn it into a wasteland.
You know what it sounds like?
And you're going to pay me $20,000?
You know what they're doing, right? It's just hitting me. They're telling us what's already happening. Damn, that's what they be doing, Smooth. Fuck, we just uncovered the shit, bro. All the shit that they put into place eventually like this, like they're rolling out right now, it's all the conspiracy theories that people have been putting forth. Mm-hmm. And now, like you just said, now they're actually coming forth with admitting pretty much that it is true.
Right.
But this is how we're implementing it.
Yeah.
So they've been displacing people using these weather motherfucking things. People said that about tsunamis that have happened in the past, earthquakes that have happened in the past.
Right. Droughts.
Fucking Katrina.
The droughts, bro, in Africa, all those years, they say that was control. That was weather modification. They signed in 1977. The droughts happened right around that time. Ethiopia was a lush paradise, bro.
Deforestation.
All that, dog.
Cutting down the Amazon.
And what about Morgellons? Do you know about that?
Morgellons disease?
Yeah.
Hold on, man. Let's have a moment of silence for the earth. All right, brother. Tell me about Morgellons.
Morgellons, bro. So for you guys out there not aware, look this up. M is in Mary, Orgello, N is in Nancy. Morgellons disease, a rare disorder characterized by the presence of fibers underneath embedded in and erupting from unbroken skin or slow healing sores. Some people with the condition also experience a sensation of crawling, biting, and stinging on and in their skin.
And where does this come from?
It comes from those fucking chemtrails.
People are just randomly getting this Morgellons disease?
Yeah, it's like watch this. Morgellons is being distributed with many different types of viruses, fungi, and bacteria. It is a combination of organic and inorganic materials genetically combined to form artificial life.
Damn it, man.
It's a combination of piezoelectric crystal, virus, fungus, plant, and genetically modified insect. It is activated by photoionization, which is light from the sun, and charged by radio waves in the environment. It uses Tesla technology to pull in energy from its environment, which is the human body. It creates a living antenna circuit within the body, being very sensitive to almost all radio waves. It has the ability to both send and receive signals, creating a reactive living circuit. The fibers made up of cellulose and metal, which act as conductors and antennas. The dimensions of the fibers could allow communication with cell towers or the megahertz range. Being microscopic, it is created to operate with very small voltages, millionths of a volt. It is partially magnetic, so it can be affected by any form of magnetism or pulsed magnetism. Any large magnetic pulse will overload the nanotech microscopic circuitry, causing it to explode. It is radioactive, giving off low-level gamma radiation used for power generation. It was created to be self-power generating and to store energy in miniature nanotube batteries. Using metallic crystals, it uses radio waves in the environment to create voltage for power. It is tuned to 50 to 60 hertz, the frequency found in the electrical system in every house in the United States and Europe. Basically, it is using the energy around us, the EMF in the air, to live and grow.
Ready Player One. Sign in.
That's crazy, bro. I watched this documentary and it was on NBC, bro. And I had already heard about this shit being related to chemtrails. And I was like, damn, that's crazy. Then this woman is on NBC and her son was like 4 years old, had this shit. And it's like these metal things growing out of them. And I'm like, yo, dude, you obviously, it is. And this other woman in the documentary went outside on a day when the chemtrails were real bad with an open jar and some water in it, and fucking then came inside and there was all these fibers inside, bro. And she fucking twisted a cap and kept it airtight, and she had it in this little light, and it was growing in there, bro. It was getting bigger by the day. And this kid in the documentary has this shit growing out of his fucking skin. He's got like antennas growing out of him, bro. And the doctors are like, yeah, we don't really know what it is. And it's like, bro, they're telling you what it is. What do you mean you don't know what it is? I just said what it is. The kid's got wires growing out of his skin. And that's why people feel a sensation of crawling, biting, stinging on their skin. Wow. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
And it goes along with Bill Gates, again, doing operating systems. That's why he would be in charge of chemtrails, because he is in charge of nanotechnology.
I've had weird moments. Where my skin feels stinging, biting, something, and there's no bug, there's no nothing. Just feels like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Uncomfortable.
Maybe the ones
Different
that protrude
rashes pop up over here and there, and I'll just attribute it to something I ate or something. Or also, I felt vibrating on my body before, like when your phone vibrates, but then I'll realize my phone is across the room. And I'm like, what the fuck? I could swear I just felt my phone fucking vibrate on my body. Yeah. So, yeah, that's weird, bro. Yeah. And me and you have talked about the nanotechnology.
Exactly.
And me thinking that it could be making us into walking antennas. So now what's fucking
systems.
What's fucking me up, though,
to be slaves.
What's fucking me up, though, is if you're saying that this is already an issue, then again, it goes into what we just said. They're already telling us what's already happened.
Yeah.
This has happened already, though.
Yeah.
It's not what I think where, 5G, beware, look out, don't buy 5G. No, it's like, nigga, this shit probably been in place since 3G. You know what I mean? Because chemtrails ain't nothing new. Me and you been watching those for
are like upgrades.
At least 15 years.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they've been
admitting what they're doing, and it goes all into why is Bill Gates in charge of geoengineering?
And all this other shit now.
Why exactly? Why is Bill Gates, these two for sure, why is Bill Gates in charge of geoengineering, and why is he in charge of the vaccine? And both of them have to do with operating systems. Mm-hmm. You have multiple vaccines given so that the nanotechnology inside there can link up inside your system, inside your body, and form an operating system which all those areas that they just conveniently burned over the summer, all those riots, those George Floyd riots and shit, 34 out of 37 of those attacks were right by the attacks, whatever, protests, where they destroyed all that property, were right by the Federal Reserve. So in a ideal situation, what you would want to do is buy that property and then build smart grids there. And that is where you could send the signals to control your operating system slaves, right? Us. So people are getting the injections. It's more than once. Plus, if they're doing it with the nasal swabs, right? The nasal swabs, they go in your
Laced
nose.
up, yeah.
Right. They go in your nose. And we'll get into that in the next episode. But definitely stay tuned for the next episode because it's informative. But sounds like it's all the dots are connecting. He's in charge of both of them. Why? He doesn't know shit about either one of those fields, but he does know about nanotechnology and he does know about operating systems.
Kush and Chemtrails, the world's most dangerous podcast.